What's wrong with the stupid TV? There's nothing to watch. Oops, never mind. I found something. All right, welcome to the Last Rewind. Just doing a quick live talking about that Knicks Celtics game. That was a nice game, close game for majority of the fourth quarter, and then finally the Knicks broke through. A couple things to discuss on. Yeah, the Knicks are up 3-1 on the world champion Boston Celtics. And a lot of people are rejoicing, as I've talked about before. This is a shot at analytics to tell people that it's not all about three-pointers. There are also better shots, the two-point shot. Not that Jason Tatum did not take advantage of the two-pointer tonight. Jason Tatum played outstanding tonight. He had 42, game-high 42 points. He shot 43% from three-point land and 57% overall. So can't blame him for that. He didn't. Let's see. Yeah, Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown had 20 tonight. Didn't shoot particularly well. Let's see. White, he had 23. He gave him some good effort tonight. Porzingis played another poor game. I don't know if there's something wrong with him. I keep hearing he's sick. Don't know. What's up with him? Why he's struggling the way he is? Figured he would take advantage of the Knicks. With just a decent big in the middle. I know they got Cat on the other side, but still, he thought Porzingis was probably going to be a difference maker, being that he can take it down low and take it at the top of the three. And Pritchard, he had 12 points. But on the other side, this was what was missing, especially from Game 3, and you could also say from 1 and 2. Jalen Brunson had help. Of course, Mikal Bridges has done his fair share of help offensively and defensively. Seems like he is the new clutch player for the Knicks. Hasn't particularly been Brunson until this game. Brunson was fantastic. Let's see, he had what do you have? Jalen Brunson. He ended up with 39 points, 56% from the field, 50% from 3, 4, 8. Let's see. 5 rebounds and 12 assists. So he played an outstanding game. He showed up. We knew it was time for him to have a good game because they had restraints on him for the first 3 games, pretty much. Third game, they had restraints on the Knicks, period. But the Knicks finally broke through. Mikal Bridges, for some reason, he comes alive in the fourth quarter. He did his thing. He's pretty much, you could say he's the MVP of this series thus far. And now that the Celtics seem to be on the brink of being eliminated, I mean, it's very rare for a team to come back from a 3-1 deficit. And for other reasons, it looks like that percentage is going to remain high because I don't know if y'all saw the play. Jason Tatum, he was going for a loose ball. And as he was going to it, he planted, I think, his right foot. He didn't touch anybody, which is always like the death knell for any athlete, is when you plant your foot, you go immediately down, and you touch no one around you. It's usually a sign of the worst. And he was clutching his ankle. And that looks like it's going to be a Achilles injury. I hope it's not, because I would rather, if the Knicks win, that they, beat the Celtics at their best. But that doesn't look good. And then I saw video of him going back to the locker room before the game ended. And his hands were over his face. He looks like he was streaming down tears, like he knew, yeah, that's it. If not the end of the season, then I'm not going to be in the next game at the very least. And that's sad. You never want to see nobody go out in injury like that. You want to see them go out at their best. And this year, I hate to compare it. I have to. This year is, to me, and I'm sure there's other years, but I'm going to name the 2 championship teams that stand out to me. The 99 Spurs shortened season where the NBA was on the NBA lockout, and the what was the 2020 championship that the Lakers won. Those two seasons, a lot of people look at, and you don't have to agree or not, but a lot of people look at those seasons like those teams that won wouldn't have won in a full season if everyone was at full strength. If everyone had, I don't know, the same type season as everyone else. That was a strange season with the lockout season. They were putting together really quick, putting the schedule together really quick. Training camps were, if they even had, I can't remember if they had a training camp or not, but the whole season was just convoluted. They were just almost like they were doing it on the fly, just so they could, bank some revenue and get these teams to play and have a championship season. I can't remember how many games it was. Was it? I don't know, it was 30 games or something like that, but it was a very short season, much like the pandemic season the Lakers won. And a lot of people look at that championship the Lakers won as a fraudulent championship because of the circumstances. And it didn't seem like everybody was at full strength. And it helps that if you're an older LeBron James or injury prone Anthony Davis, that you have a shortened season that usually takes its toll on your body. Then with the uncertainty with a disease that popped up, a virus that popped up, of how it was going to affect people and being separate from the fans and family and stuff, it was just a whole lot of stuff. But some people don't consider that real championships. And the reason why I mentioned that is with the Boston Celtics, some people do not consider them real champions because of how their competition was stacked up last year. It's not that they didn't play anybody, it's that nobody was available to play. Everybody was injured from the first round up until the finals with Luka. That was really, to me, the only legit championship there. And, people will say, well, you didn't go through the rigors of the playoffs and you didn't experience fatigue, or you really should have. Everyone really thinks they should have won. They should have won 12-0 up into the finals because their competition was that light. Why the Mavericks had to struggle through several teams to get there. And some people think, they were just gassed by the time they got to the finals. They went up against a very fresh Boston Celtics. And Boston Celtics has a pretty decent bench too. And so that included with Jason Tatum's, I could say Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown didn't get on the Olympic team. Jason Tatum was on the Olympic team, but was seen to be like a background player. He rode the bench. I'm like, how do you win the championship? And many people consider you to be the best player on that team, and you don't get to play hardly ever on the USA Championship team. You just seem like it's almost like he was Christian Laettner. He was a college player that, you'll get some spotty minutes here and there, but you're not ready for the big time yet, kid. I just won a championship. And many people kind of argue whether he or Jaylen Brown should have been the MVP of the finals. So it was like, he was going up against the disrespect that he got from last year. Whether you think he deserved it or not, no one really mentions Jason Tatum as one of the better players of the league. The NBA pundits do, but I'm talking about amongst you and me. Nobody really mentions Jason Tatum as a player you just think that is going to lead your team to a championship. And I think it's with good reason, because he seems like he's a robot a lot of times when he plays. And maybe that's not his fault. Maybe that's his coach's fault. Boston Celtics, this is why I say this is a defeat to analytics. They love shooting the three. And they will live by the three. They will die by the three. Now, they did better tonight. They shot better tonight, most definitely. But even that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. People like the grinded out teams, as long as, you're not scoring only 70 points. That was more so like the early 2000s, late 90s type game. That's why they try to up the scoring just a bit. But people like the grinded out teams. That's why people love the Knicks. It doesn't, not a lot of people seem to love the Celtics like that. But again, this is sad because I want to see them go out on their shield, the Celtics, that is. But it didn't. I know Jason Tatum got hurt, and anything could have happened with the time that was left, but the game was pretty much over. The Knicks had that game won. No one else was really doing anything in the fourth quarter but Tatum. So props to him. Tatum rose to the occasion. And as he does, Tatum does rise to the occasion in the playoffs. It's just that the thing is, and I don't know if I saw it too much this year. Previous years, he would have these big games, 40-point games, 50-point games, outstanding games. And then the next game, he might have 20 points, but off of like 30 shots or 40 shots or whatever. So he'd just be up and down. He was never consistent. And people would always complain about that. And then you see Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown would probably be a little bit more consistent with his scoring. He would have excellent games, but his was a little bit more consistent. It's just that Tatum would go so high up and then he would just drop down. It's a lot of it is because he would fall in love with a 3-point shot. He just shoot, 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 and shoot. When it works, the team is almost unstoppable except for the night. But when it doesn't work, it's like, what else do I do? Take it to the basket, like the Knicks are doing. Jalen Brunson, people love the way the dude plays like a running back. Head down, straight to the basket, finds a way to get a 2-point layup or whatever shot over taller defenders. And people love that. So let's just say the Knicks go back. They're going back to Boston for Game 5. Let's just say they win it. And it looks like, I'm going to go ahead and call it, I think the Pacers are going to go ahead and close out Cleveland. If not in Cleveland, then when they get back to Indiana. Doesn't matter where they go. I think they're going to beat them eventually. We're going to have a Knicks versus Pacers series. Who predicted that in the Eastern Conference Finals? And who predicted that either one of those teams could get to the finals? No one predicted that. No one predicted that neither the Cavaliers or the Celtics will get to the finals. I'm all here for it. I like seeing stuff like that. I love seeing upsets like this in the playoffs. And this is what the NBA, I love this kind of parity in the NBA. So I don't have a problem with it, especially when New York is in it. New York, I'm not a Knicks fan, but, the NBA is just better when New York is in the point of conversation, when they're in the Eastern Conference Finals, when they're a championship contender, and when they get to the finals. Now, they haven't won anything since way before I was born. But the fact that they're, in the hunt, in the talk, it gets everyone talking about, the NBA again. I don't know how the ratings are doing so far for this latest part of the second round of the playoffs. But with New York, they're a big market team, the biggest market team there is. I got to assume that they've gotten better. But we'll see. What did y'all think? The Knicks are going to finish it out in Boston if Jason Tatum does not play? And do you think the Pacers are going to finish Cleveland? Because they're up 3-1. Where did they go back to? They're going back to Cleveland. Do you think they finish it out in Cleveland? I think the Pacers finish it Game 6. I think the Knicks finish it out in Boston if Jason Tatum doesn't play. And we're going to see a Knicks-Pacers. And the Knicks want revenge because the Pacers, I think, put them out. Was it last year, I think? I think it was last year they put them out, if I'm not mistaken, in the second round. Even though the Knicks, I think it was a Game 7. They played New York, and people thought for sure New York was going to play the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. But, it ended up being, I think it was Pacers and Celtics. But I think that would be a good one. I don't know which way that will go because I did not expect the Pacers and Knicks to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, but I'm all happy for it. Hopefully Jason Tatum's okay. I really would hate if it's an Achilles injury because that can take years off of you if you don't recover properly. So, prayers out for him. Hope he's good. But yeah, I just want to hop on here real quick and talk about this game. Thank y'all for showing up for the Last Rewind, and I will see you guys on the next live stream. Y'all take it easy and make sure you be kind and join us on the Last Rewind.